y'all, it's Dini and welcome to Vlogmas Day 11, y'all. So y'all, this is basically a video from my podcast called the So Wavey Life Podcast. I know it says So Wavey Podcast on the screen, but I changed the name. Basically this is the episode that I did a couple months back, and if you want to see all the podcast episodes that I've done so far, they're a little bit older just from like the summer. They are on my channel, my second channel, Denny Price TV, which I'll link below. But I am restarting the podcast back in the new year, and it's basically a music entertainment podcast. So yeah, I want to put this over here so y'all can check it out and see, if y'all feeling it, if you like it, and if you're interested, you can go head over to that second channel again, Denny Price TV, to check it out, as well as some other content over there. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about this, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Hey y'all, welcome back to the So Wavey Life podcast. I'm your host Denny, and we have another great episode today. So y'all, I posted a bonus episode on Monday. If you have not checked that out, go check that out. I was supposed to do a visual for the episode, and I thought I was recording the whole time. I was not. So I'm pretty sad about that. Because I want to give y'all a visual for the episode. But we are back to doing visual episodes now. And this is episode 14, I believe. And yeah, y'all, I've been going for a bit. I took a little break from just recording and I had a lot of other stuff going on. But we are back. And as you can see, I kind of changed the setup a little bit. I'm still working on this. So it's work in progress, but for right now, this is what we have. And yeah, like always, before we get into the episode, make sure you are subscribed or following the podcast on whatever platform you listen to this on. Also, if you want to see the visuals of each and every episode, almost each and every episode, you can head over to my YouTube channel, which is Denny Price TV, and there you will find the podcast as well as some other content that I do over on that channel. And yeah, y'all, let's get into it, y'all. It's been a lot going on, hence why I had to do a separate video breaking down the whole Drake and Kendrick beef, which I will get into during this episode as well. But yeah, I do have some changes that I made to the podcast as far as the flow, and I have different segments. So I'm going to introduce each and every segment to you guys today, and y'all just let me know how y'all like the flow of the show with the new segments. So the first thing that we're gonna get into is the first segment, which I call the new. So basically, the new is just giving y'all like just a list of some of the new music that has released the previous week or the previous days, and just me talking about the new music like I always do, but now it's just its own separate segment. So I'm gonna get into some of the new music that has been released that I either like, I'm gonna listen to, etc. So y'all know literally the past 2 weeks have really all been about Kendrick and Drake. And I'm just gonna talk about their latest releases from the beef. So if you've been keeping up, y'all know they've been going back and forth for about like back and forth with records for about a week or so. Like back to back to back. Y'all, if you know, you know. And so the last two songs that they released were Kendrick released They Not Like Us or Not Like Us. And that song is so good, y'all. So good. Like I told y'all in the last episode, I am a Kendrick fan. Um and I like he is my favorite rapper. Always really has been since the start. Like I've been listening to Kendrick and Drake for over 10 years now, y'all. Like this is my generation. These are my peoples. So I really like that song. Everybody's really liking that song. I cannot go up like my TikTok for you page without like hearing that song or seeing people dancing to it, or like seeing clips from people in the club. I've seen people at like pool parties. I've even seen like a school like festival thing. I think it's a college, but it was like a school festival thing. I'm like, this song is gonna be one of the songs of the summer for sure. And I think people are so surprised that Kendrick released something like this. And I personally, since he's my favorite rapper, I knew that he can do with if he wanted to do something, he could do it. And he did just that. Like, period, always. So I really like that song. I mean, out of all of the songs that he made during this beef, I feel like this is one of the best ones, honestly. That and Euphoria, I think Meet the Grams and the 16 in LA songs are really good as well. But I feel like Euphoria and They Not Like Us is like those are those songs. Cause like even with the Euphoria song, like clips, like snippets from that song, people are using on their TikTok. Like the part where he says, what is it, the braids? That's my favorite part. I was literally randomly in the bed, laying down, and that's like I just kept thinking about that line and like what part? What other part? Like when he says, "I hate the way that you walk, the way you talk," all that. So that's been trending as well. So yeah, then I'm like, I just really like that song. It's on my playlist. Like, love it. Chef's kiss. And then Drake followed up after that song with the Heart Part 6, which was very interesting, and a lot of people have been dissecting it because it's been about what 2 days almost since that song released, and Kendrick hasn't released anything else since. Some people feel like he won't release anymore. Some people feel like he will. I'm not sure. Like I knew from the start, before this whole beef kind of started, really like getting into the thick of it. I knew that he was coming out with an album because I had heard, like, I forgot what I was watching, and I'm like, I don't know if Kendrick's gonna say anything else. Honestly, he might, and then I really do believe he has an album coming out soon. So yeah, like I told y'all that with J. Cole. Like J. Cole got an album coming out. Like I had called J. Cole's gonna have an album coming out like a few months ago because artists like J. Cole and Kendrick, when they outside, like for real outside, then you know that they got some music coming because they are not the artists that you just always see all the time. So yeah. So I don't think he's gonna respond. I don't know though, y'all. Everything has been shocking thus far, so who knows for real, for real. But yeah, Drake released the Hard Part 6, which people have been dissecting that thing top to bottom. They've been dissecting all the songs between him and Kendrick, but this one in particular, and people are kind of calling out his like him contradicting himself and saying certain things, and just him talking about like he set up Kendrick basically to get the information and it was all fake and all that stuff. So some people are like believing it, some people are not. I've seen some takes where some people was like they don't care if what he said was a lie or what Kendrick said was a lie. It's about who made the better music, made the better song. Some people say that it changes the way that they like view the beef and who won or whatever. So I, I don't know. Like I didn't really take all of what both of them were saying like in as far as like if it's true or not for real because you really never know honestly. But I will say shock value wise, I mean all of it is just a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is too much. I just kept going, 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 going. But in that same song, people were saying that Drake kind of like waved the white flag and he kind of was just like, I ain't got time for this and I see you when I see you type of stuff. So damn, they was like Kendrick won, Kendrick won. Now in my book, I don't care what happens. Kendrick is the winner to me, and I do believe Kendrick won this. I think Drake underestimated Kendrick, and I'm actually surprised that people are like Team Kendrick because I for sure thought I was like, okay. I know that Kendrick to me Kendrick is like the best, and I know that he is one of the big three, and he is one of those rappers of our generation that is like that, like for real. So I didn't think that people were gonna be against him, but Drake is more popular, mainstream. His fan base is bigger. Like he just has more. So I for sure thought if at the beginning people were, because once he released Push Ups and Taylor Made and Kendrick hadn't said anything, they was like Drake is winning. And then once Kendrick got started, boy, did he get started and he just kept going, going, going. So I really do think Drake underestimated Kendrick, and I am actually surprised that it went the way that it went. Like I heard I was listening to Joe Budden and he was talking about that he didn't really think Kendrick was gonna respond like quickly, because he was just like basically he just was saying like since the Like That record was so big, like he didn't think Kendrick would like step on that moment and just like release something. And I was like, I don't know, like because Kendrick doesn't release music like a whole lot, so you never know. But he surprised everybody. shocked us. The internet, the Black Twitter, the podcasters, the streamers have been in shambles, y'all, because it's been a long week. Been staying up, listening, trying to figure out who gonna say what, who gonna say what. But I'm definitely Team Kendrick in this, even though I've always liked Drake's music, of course, and I grew up listening to him like as well. So, but like I said, Kendrick is my personal favorite rapper, and I do feel like I heard this take a lot too. Like, for people that don't like Kendrick, it's okay to not like Kendrick, obviously, if that's what you want to do. But to say that he's not a good rapper, or to say that these, like, that's just crazy to me, because he really is like that for real. And I do feel like you have to have your musical ear has to be at a certain, like, status or certain point to really get and understand Kendrick's music. Because I heard a lot of people say, like, nobody says, "Oh, turn Kendrick on," or what, and I was like, wait, like, I listen to Kendrick casually, just casually. Like, one of my favorite songs from him is "High Power" off Section 80. So I just I'm just a big Kendrick person, and I haven't really honestly been feeling Drake's music the past couple years personally, and I've kind of just not really been, like, I'm not a stan of nobody though, for real. Like I always tell y'all, but like Kendrick is definitely my favorite rapper. But I don't know. I haven't been feeling Drake's music here lately. I do feel like everybody has a bias when it comes to this, because you have a bias, but I do feel like Kendrick is winning or has won. It just depends if anything's gonna pop off. The general public has kind of established that as well. Like I said, you cannot go down your TikTok For You page, your Instagram, or nothing without seeing Kendrick's or hearing Kendrick's song, like that. And you like that, not like that too. Also, let's not forget about that one. But They Not Like Us and Euphoria have been just on there, and Drake's songs have kind of just not. And I think people are kind of just shocked and surprised of like how he played this in the music that he did release. Um, so I don't know, y'all. I'm shook. If It was very entertaining. It's been very entertaining, and I just like love it. But if you want to hear more of my thoughts of Kendrick and Drake and the breakdown of each songs, you can head over to listen to the audio of the bonus episode. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I am just gonna post the audio of the episode. Like I said, I couldn't get the video because it messed up. I don't even know what happened. So since Drake and Kendrick have been going back and forth, it's kind of put like a damper on everybody else's music that has been released. So I'm just gonna highlight a couple of new songs. But wait, before I do that, y'all, I forgot to mention, because this is technically new music. Metro released a beat, basically. Cause y'all know in Push Ups, he told Metro to shut up and make some drums, and that's what he did, and he called it BBL Jersey. That one has been taken on the For You page as well. Like, I'm just shocked that these things have picked up like this. Like, they're so catchy, and I just really thought that Drake was going to win the overall public opinion. I do not think that this is going to like tamper with his legacy, but I do think it makes people look at him a little bit differently. And people that judge hip hop, and people that are hip hop enthusiasts, and people that really love hip hop, they might look at him different. Some people say they won't, but I feel like you going to at some point, because at like 5 years from now, it's gonna be a debate like who is the best in the generation, and and y'all gonna bring up the Drake and Kendrick beef. So I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna change as far as, I guess, what you've accomplished in your, it might change your standing in some people's eyes, but your overall standing and what you've done. But I do feel like it's definitely gonna make people look at you differently, and people lose respect sometimes. So we'll see kind of what happens, later down the line. But that BBL Jersey is crazy, y'all. It's so funny. Um, so another song I would like to highlight is Tinashe released a song called Nasty, and I have been hearing it on TikTok. I heard it like a couple of times, like, oh, I like this. So I went to listen to it, and I really like it. I like Tinashe personally. I don't really know why she hasn't like popped like that. Like, I think she's really, really talented, and she does make some good music for sure. But I don't know, but y'all definitely should go listen to Tinashe's song Nasty. Um And yeah, I like her. Shout out to Tinashe. And then we have Gunna. So Gunna released an album, y'all, in the midst of everything going on, child. And let me see what the name of his album is. I think he's on tour right now. Because yeah, I'm gonna talk about that in the next one. So it's one of one. It's like one of one, but it's the second one is spelled WUN. But I think he has. I did hear one song on TikTok, or it hasn't. Has it released yet? Yeah, I could have sworn it was released yet, but no, it doesn't come out till the 10th. But he's a couple of songs have been released from that album that is supposed to come out May 10th. I promise I saw that this was coming out May 5th. Like did he change it or am I tripping? I don't know. But yeah, so that's coming out in literally a couple of days. But I have heard one of these songs because it had like it's kind of got like a Asian influence on it. But yeah, so that is ready to kind of release, but that just him releasing that and the whole hype of that is kind of overshadowed by obviously Kendrick and Drake stuff. So we'll kind of see what his album is given once it comes out. But yeah, 2 songs off the album have already been released. And yeah. So I think that is all that I have for the new for right now, y'all. Like I said, everything else has been overshadowed, so I don't even know honestly who else has come out with some new music or new anything because I've been solely focused on Kendrick and Drake. But yeah, y'all get it. All right, so the next segment is called "What is really going on." So in this segment, I'm basically going to just talk about kind of like the hot topics in music and just the entertainment space, whatever I feel like I want to talk about, if I feel like I have some input on them. So I do have a couple of things that I want to get into. So the first one is while Drake and Kendrick have been going at it, we also have had a couple little side beefs going or side arguments. And one of them was between JT and Sukihana. So apparently, okay, let me make sure I tell y'all as much as I can remember. So, from my knowledge, JT's song "Okay" released the other week, and in the song she had a line that says something about chipping your veneers, eating crab legs, something like that, something to that effect. Okay, so when that came out, people thought she was talking about Cardi B because I believe a month or two ago, Cardi B had made a video and she had cracked her veneers. But she said she was eating a bagel, so people was like, "Oh no, it's not about Cardi B. It's about somebody else." So people was trying to just figure out who she was talking about. So the internet came up with Sukihana. So now, mind you, before all of this, I think Suki had got arrested for something. So like JT song, Suki was arrested. JT song came out. The internet was saying that it was Cardi B. Then they said no, it was Suki. So then it just kind of like went from there. And then Suki basically went on Instagram, I believe, and she made a video and was like, JT, if you talk about me, like if you're not talking about me, like let people know you're not talking about me. And people were like mentioning JT, like telling her like you need to say if this is about Suki or not, because they're bringing up the Glorilla situation when she was her and JT had got into it, and JT was like, "Don't mention me," and yada making up a story, all that good stuff. So JT didn't say nothing for like maybe a day or two, and Suki just like that. Now after that video of her saying that she was like JT cleared up, like it was peaceful. And then Suki just went like to the left and kind of was just like calling JT out, and like she was calling JT out, but she was calling out fans. She just was ranting, and JT didn't say nothing. And then JT like starts to respond back, and they just go back and forth to just exchange Twitter. I think JT did a live, and it was just a lot, y'all. But see, nobody, obviously, if you're like not into the Kendrick and Drake thing, then you probably wasn't really into it. I just didn't really see all the back and forth, but I do know they was going back and forth. I saw a couple of tweets and I saw JT's video, and I'm just like, I don't know, y'all. It's like JT is getting into it with everybody. And sometimes when you working your way up within a space or within the industry, like people are gonna come at you, or you're just gonna have more conflict than usual with people. And then the fans and stuff kind of, they don't there it's not the fans' fault necessarily, but they do definitely hype these people up and get them to want to respond and talk. So I don't like to be seeing people argue for real. Like, I do like a little mess. Everybody like a little mess. Like, let's not get that confused. Everybody like a little mess. But I'm saying, like, I don't want to, see them go back and forth. So yeah, y'all, they just going back and forth, just saying all sorts of stuff. So tell me what y'all think about that, about JT and Suki. I never would have thought, like, for real. Never. Cause she just was getting into it with Glorilla the other week. And then I think, did she get into it with somebody else in between there? Her and Carisha and Santana. So, like, I don't know. JT, just focus on you. Everybody focus on them. Just everybody focus on them. And just, I don't know, y'all. It's crazy, though. It's crazy. Next we have Nicki and Ice Spice. So this is another thing that's been kind of going on in the background while the Kendrick and Drake stuff was going on. So basically, Ice Spice's ex best friend or close friend or something decided that she wanted to expose her. And basically she was calling Ice Spice a colorist and all these things. And then she released text messages of her and Ice Spice talking to each other, and Ice Spice was talking about Nicki Minaj, and she called her ungrateful, delusional, and I guess Ice Spice was venting to her friend. I mean, it's kind of like that her friend like released the messages or whatever, and people would just one of people's like points to takeaways. I was like, okay, this is just too much. Like, as a friend, like, or as an ex friend, why would you do something like that? But I guess the girl said she had to do what she had to do. I don't know. That's crazy. All of it's crazy. Never saw this coming out like this. And y'all already know people have been suspecting for months, really, that Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj weren't on really good terms. And then, like the whole thing with Cardi and Ice Spice happened, and that kind of made people feel like that kind of made things a little bit more shaky. And then now these messages come out, and you calling her delusional, and you're calling her ungrateful, and you're saying all these things. So some people were definitely surprised, and some people were not surprised. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what? And so that's just a whole thing. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, everybody just really don't like everybody. Like, that's really the truth. And I feel like as fans, you just gotta kind of know that. Like, sometimes your people not gonna like people, and like vice versa. Like, so it's just kind of like, let them just do what they gonna do at this point, because at this point nobody like each other, because everybody be beefing. Like, this year, Cat Williams started this, and I'm putting it on him, because ever since he went to Club Shay Shay, everybody been going at it and telling each other how they feel. But see, a part of me is like, that's good, because people should tell people how they feel and get it off their chest if it's weighing on them. So I like that, but I have never seen so many people get into it, and we haven't even made it to June yet. It hasn't even been a whole 6 months. And I know the whole time I've been doing this podcast since the beginning of the year, I have talked about so many people getting into it. It is crazy. It is so crazy. So, like, I don't really know. Like, I mean, for me, that I feel like that solidified them not really messing with each other. And like, people say it's more so on the business side of things than the personal. And I do think sometimes people's personalities don't mesh well. And when you have somebody like Nicki Minaj, she's like a strong personality, I feel like. And she's been in this industry for a long time, and she's had to deal with a lot of stuff. So I feel like maybe her approach sometimes is not what people want, I guess. And I can understand that though from her part, because like, I've been through too much. I've done this, I've done this. I am Nicki Minaj, so there's some leverage there of things that, but I don't know, y'all. Some people I've seen this, like, personally, some people's personalities just don't mix, like, no matter what, honestly. So I don't know, y'all. Nicki has kind of been she been not like going, she ain't been going off, but she's been tweeting little, you know how she does. She just tweets little things, and Ice Spice really hasn't said anything. Um, I am worried for Ice Spice as far as what her album is gonna do when it comes out, because it's been so much going on, and like the Barb's is really like a part of her success as far as on the fan side of things. So, and people like buying and streaming her music. So I know that some people, like, cause Barb's is, they loyal. They loyal. They not, no. But like, oh, you don't like her? Okay, we don't like you. And you gotta respect it. I mean, I'm a person that's big on loyalty too, so I get it, but you know. But yeah, so I worry about like what her album is going to do, versus probably what it would have done if none of this had came out. Um, so yeah, I think she announced her album is gonna come out in June, I believe. And I was actually surprised that she announced it so early, because she had announced it in April that it was coming out in June. And I'm like, that's a long time. People are gonna forget. Um, but yeah. So that's kind of like the other side beef or side stuff that's going on, as far as, other beefs. And then somebody was like, the Game and Rick Ross was beefing or something, or the Game made like a post or something, and somebody was like, we don't want that beef, we don't want that beef. I'm there too. We don't need it, we don't want it. I'm like, sir, it's just getting off their chest, I guess. I mean, hey, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. Let us see. Oh, so another thing that I could have mentioned it up in the new music, but Meg Thee Stallion is doing this thing, it seems like, where she is releasing a new freestyle every Monday. And she's calling it Megan Mondays. Because y'all know, I talked about this a while ago. She is going on tour soon, in like the next week or two. I think it's, yeah, I think it's this week actually, or next week, or like, yeah, it's either the end of this week or early next week. I believe. So I guess it's some she's like doing, kind of leading up to that, and and I'm actually surprised because people were trying to figure out if she was gonna have an album out by now. So I don't know if she is, y'all. If she gonna release it before tour, if she gonna release it during tour. Her tour might be later. I know it's in May for real, but I don't know the exact date. I put see May 12th is ringing, but I don't know if that's for her or what. But May something. So she released a freestyle, and I think she did over a Gucci Mane song. Let me see. I forgot which one it was. But yeah, I've seen mixed reviews on it. Some people like it, some people don't. I mean, I guess to each his own. I haven't heard the whole thing yet. I just heard like bits and pieces of it. So yeah, that's it. All right. Speaking of tours, so did y'all see that Flo Milli walked off stage? Because she's on tour with Gunna right now, I believe. Because he made a tweet about this too. And somebody throws something at her, and she just walked off stage, and she was like, she ain't doing this, like, and she'll beat them up for real. And then Gunna came out and tweeted, it was like, no Flo Milli slander will be tolerated on the tour or whatever. And I don't know what it is with people throwing stuff at people on stage these days. Now, I don't know if it's like a situation to where they don't like what the person is saying or the music, or even if you don't like somebody's music, I just don't feel like you should be throwing stuff at artists. Like, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? For real. Like, why would you do that? And it's happened pretty much at every tour or concert I've seen. It's happening, and it's happening frequently. And I'm just like, mm-mm. This is too much. This is too much. I'm trying to see if I can find Gunna's tweet. that he made. Yeah, he just was like, no, like Flo Milli slander will be tolerated, whatever. And oh y'all, as I'm on here looking for Gunna's tweet, I do see that they are saying that Meg Thee Stallion is releasing this Friday. I don't know if this is a song or an album. It's called Boa, like a boy, boy. I don't know, boya, boy constrictor, like like the snake, the boa. What's it called? Boa constrictor. Y'all let me know. I'm from the South, y'all, so y'all have to go. Sometimes some words is just it's not gonna come out right. So yeah, I just saw that. So interesting. I know that her theme is she did release some other stuff too with this boa thing, and it looked like a video game. But then they say it's anime inspired, so I guess we will see, y'all. We will see. I am also kind of like, as an artist though, I'm like, do I even want to release at this point? Like with Kendrick and Drake going back and forth, and we don't know if they're gonna come out or what. They got like so many songs have released from them in the past week, so I don't know, but yeah. Let's see what else do we have. So speaking of Drake and Kendrick, y'all, Drake's house in Canada, in Toronto, um, was shot at or had some sort of shooting. I when I read it and I looked at the video, they were saying that a security guard outside of his house was shot, and um nobody else was injured, I believe. I think just a security guard. And they don't know if Drake was home or not. But then in that same report, they was like they're cooperating with Drake's team, and he's being very cooperative. And y'all know, once that news broke, people was like, "Oh, Kendrick." I personally do not believe Kendrick had anything to do with it. Honestly, I don't. Not that I think that I don't think he would do something like that. But even if, I just don't think that he would do that, knowing that he's in a current beef with Drake and how that would look. I feel like he's a bit smarter than that. And honestly, ain't no telling. And people are trying to like tie it into like, Kendrick used the "They Not Like Us," the cover of that for that song was Drake's house. But then it was like Kanye has released Drake's address before, and somebody else did something, and they were like, it's public record, you can look it up and find it. So I don't know. So yeah, don't want this to resort to violence, but sometimes people they be getting out in the street and they be doing what they gotta do. So I mean, hey, that's why you don't need to be underestimating people. Don't underestimate nobody, and don't think that people just gonna do stuff. Like, people just not gonna do stuff if you come for them. Like, some people, they crazy like that. They won't whatever. But they said Jake was not. They don't know if he was home or not. I would assume. I don't know if the security guard was outside. I'm not sure, but they don't know from the report that I was watching. They don't know, so I don't know. And then Drake's store also got vandalized in somewhere. I didn't even know he had a store, but somewhere his store got vandalized as well. And somebody put "They Not Like Us" on like the glass, like windows. I'm like, that's crazy. So people don't know, like, if it's a fan trying to do this stuff, if it's who it is. The police don't know. Nobody really knows. But they did say Drake was cooperating, and a lot of people have a lot of takes on this. You do have people saying Kendrick did it. You also have people saying that this is just like a smoke screen, and Drake is kind of just divert from the problem, and this is his way out of the beef. And I don't know, all those conspiracies. I don't know about that. I'm just glad everybody's okay. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with all of that. And definitely don't want to resort that to violence. But like I said, I don't know. People just do stuff. And then they were saying that the Weeknd manager's house was shot at or something last week. So I don't know if it's a beef with people. I don't know if it's just people trying to just target people. Like, I don't know. That's Canada's business. I'm in America, so I don't know what their thing is, what they like their system there, how they go about it, who do what, who is what, who is what. At least everybody okay. That's all I'm concerned about, I guess. So yeah, so that's just a crazy. It's just crazy, and I will say the perception definitely can look away because they were just in a beef, like so it could seem like that, but I just don't think that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know for sure, but I really just don't. I honestly don't think. I don't think. Like I really don't think that's the case. So who knows who it was, what they purpose was or what. And they say he doesn't live in like a gated community or anything. So I don't know. Y'all know how people be sometimes. Especially with stuff happens, they just feel really passionate about their views and they just I don't know. And then the last thing for the what is really going on segments, I want to talk about the Met Gala. So last night was the Met Gala, y'all, and y'all, it was a night of no diss songs being released or nothing, so people could really focus on the Met Gala. And I did see some of the looks, and me personally, I just look for all the black folks and the people that I know. And some people that are not black too, I look for them if I'm like, interested in them or like if I know who they are. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple of names here. I'm not gonna go through everybody because I didn't even see everybody's looks, but I definitely saw Tiana Taylor's look. She looked good. I saw Zendaya. She always look good. Y'all know she do that for real. And then who else? Nikki. She did good. Like she looked really really good. Like on theme, and I think she's on like a lot of the publications best dressed list. I saw a tweet or something about that, so shout out to her. Cardi was there as well. She looked good too. Let me see. She looked good, but people did not like her dress. And didn't feel like it was on theme. It felt like she's done it before. But I don't really know. Sometimes people really like go to the left with the theme and just create their own vision. But sometimes when the celebrities explain to you like the inspiration behind their look, it make you like understand a bit more. Cause I think this thing was like the reawakening of beauty and revive. It's like just awakening, revival, like just very spring vibes to me. So you saw some floral stuff. You saw like just a lot of different stuff. Like I said, some people just go to the left with it, and you be like, "What is she got home? What if she got home?" But once they explain to you, you look okay. I see the vision. I see the vision. So, who else was there? Oh my gosh, Bad Bunny. Who else did I see? I don't even remember. It was a lot of different people. Kiki Palmer was there. So yeah, y'all. How do y'all feel about the Met Gala and the Met Gala looks if you're into that? Like I said, um, I hadn't got to see every person's look for real, but the ones that I did see, I kind of highlighted them. So they all look pretty good. Oh, and Tyla, I really liked hers. Hers was very simple and looked like it was like made of sand. It looked really good. I gotta give it to her. She was one of the best dressed for me because I'm more of a simple girl personally. Like I like the simple things, and I feel like sometimes simplicity is the best, and it speaks volumes. And it really, really worked in her favor. Like I just like the way the dress was constructed, and I really want to know how they did it to make it look like sand. Like it's amazing. Like it really, really is. And I believe it might be made out of sand. I don't know the ins and outs, but she looked really good too. So shout out to everybody that went to the Met Gala, y'all. So yes, y'all. So that is closing our segment number 2, which is the what is going on. So every episode I won't be like segment number 2. I'm just gonna say the segment and just get going. This is just kind of what I'm doing for the first time doing this. So yeah, so next this segment I want to highlight an artist that I have either just discovered or an artist that I just listen to a lot or just somebody that I want to highlight. And this segment is called The Light. So every week I'm going to give y'all a new artist. And this is similar to kind of what I do on my YouTube channel, which is the You Gotta Listen series. where I give y'all just different songs and albums by different artists you probably never heard of, artists you've heard of before, and just music I feel like y'all have to listen to. But for this segment, I want to highlight the artists themselves. So the artist for this week is Dom Bella or Dom Belli. I'm gonna put a picture of her EP, and that is how I discovered her. And the song that came up on my Apple Music was called "In Person." So I'm gonna put that on the screen so y'all can see. And I think I'm saying her name right, Dom Bella. Dom Bella. But I really, really like her. She's a really, really dope artist. She is, I would say she's an R&B artist. I'm not 100% sure what she classifies herself as, because I did hear some of her other stuff and it sounded like she was rapping a bit. But this EP that I listened to and how I discovered her is called Stages, and it was released in 2022. And the song that I like the most is called In Person, and she samples Computer Love by Roger. What's his name? Roger Troutman. I think that's his name. I know what I be talking about, y'all, but sometimes the names just get away from me. What's it? Yeah, Zap and Roger. Ain't his last name Troutman or Thornton or something like that? Sorry, T. But anyway, she samples Computer Love. And I just, that song's just, first of all, Computer Love is an amazing song, classic. But the way she did it, I really, really liked it. And then I do like her latest single that she's dropped this year, which I'll try to put that on the screen somewhere as well. It's called No Love Lost. I like that as well. So yeah, I would consider her R&B, but I went to her Instagram and I saw like some stuff that she was doing was a little rappy, like, a little one too. But y'all know a lot of artists are just multi-talented. They do a little bit of everything. But yeah, so y'all should definitely go check out Dom Bella or Dom Belli. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right or close enough. And she's just, I always want to highlight her because I often come across so many like not as known artists. But she definitely, if you go to her Instagram, she definitely has a fan base and a following. But just saying, like, just in general, like a lot of just not mainstream artists that I come across that I just absolutely just like instantly just like and adore. So I'm like, I need to tell more people about these people so that y'all can know. Like, I love when people give me new music suggestions or new artists to listen to. Because sometimes you get tired of the same old, same old. So if you're into R&B and you're looking for somebody else to listen to, you definitely should check her out. Like I said, the album covers of things will be here. The first one is her EP Stages, and the song that I like the most on there is In Person, where she samples Computer Love by Roger. And then her new song that came out in January called No Love Lost. So shout out to her, y'all, and go check her out. So like I said, y'all, this segment I'm just gonna highlight different artists. So if you are an upcoming artist yourself, if you know any artists that are upcoming or any artists that you just feel like people should know more about, then you definitely can comment them below if you're watching me on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, there is like places for you to like answer the question, and that'll be one of the questions, or you can just kind of answer it, or you know, all that. So yes. Alrighty, next we are going to get into the next segment, which is called Now You Know. So in this segment, I'm basically giving y'all like some hip hop facts, because me myself, being an upcoming hip hop historian, an upcoming music journalist, and I do have a journalism degree, guys. So I can say that I'm an upcoming music journalist, y'all. I haven't really, since I graduated school, honestly, I haven't really fully dove into journalism necessarily. I've been kind of doing other things in the realm of it, but not for real, for real. But I want to start doing it again because that's my first love, my first passion, and I always want to be a music journalist in general. Like, just off bat, like, never want to be a reporter, like a news reporter, but like I want to be a music journalist. Like, so yeah. So in this, me learning more about the genre for real, more than what I already know, more than like some of the surface layer stuff, some of the history behind certain things. So I'm going to give y'all like a fun fact every week. Especially if you are like me and you just like a nerd like that and you like facts and you like just random things. This is like the best segment for you. So in this segment for the first one, the hip hop fact that I want to share with you guys is, what is the first hip hop song? So in my research, I discovered something that I just never really even like knew. First, most people credit, I think, the first hip hop song ever by the Sugar Hill Gang. What is it called? I know it. Rapper's Delight. So that is, to most people, that's like the first rap song for it to be played like on the radio and just to be played places. But from my research, I found that actually they say that the first hip hop record was King Tim the Third, Personality Jock by the Fatback Band, which was released in the 1970s. And I think Rapper's Delight was released in 1979. So this is obviously before that. But then it goes on to say that others say that the first rap song was Noah by the church group the Jumbleries, recorded in 1940. Now I've seen that video on TikTok actually, and I'll try to put a screenshot of it here for my visual listeners, and you can look it up. It's called Noah by the church choir group the I'll put it on the screen to the name so y'all can see it for the people that's looking at this. But the Jubilaries, and I've seen the video, and he was like rapping all like for real, like if what we consider, I guess, in it is rapping, but not necessarily how we consider it today 100%, but definitely he was flowing. I was like, this is so interesting, like to even like watch and discover, because I had never heard of that at all. But like I said, I seen it on TikTok because like a while ago it went viral, so I thought it was super interesting. Like I said, people credit Rapper's Delight being the first hip hop song to really like rap for real, like, and be for real, and that was like in what, 1979, like I said. But then there's another um song by the Fatback Band released in the 1970s, and then this Noah song by the Jubilaries. I don't know. Recorded in 1940. I would definitely recommend you guys to go watch that video. Like I said, I will put a screenshot here, and then if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try to link the video below for you guys, because it's super interesting to watch. It is in black and white, obviously. And it's just cool. Like, I just think that was really, just really, really cool, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So this is your hip hop fact for the week. So next week I will come with another one for you guys, and they're not gonna all be just like stuff maybe that we don't know from like back in the day. It's gonna be some current stuff that you probably don't even realize or don't even overlooked, or just stuff you just really don't know. So yeah, that was the segment. Now you know, because now you know something new that you ain't even knew before. Like, now you can tell people that you know what the first real rap song is, and it was in the 1940s by the Jubilaries, and it's called Noah. So boom, now you got something to tell somebody. All right, y'all. So moving into the next to last segment, it is You Gotta Watch. Like I told y'all a little bit ago, I do a series on my regular YouTube channel, which you should check it out. It's Denny Price TV, where I talk about, like, the series is called You Gotta Listen. So I give you different songs, artists, and everything to listen to. So I decided to do something like this, but on the podcast, but it's gonna be called You Gotta Watch. So each week I'm gonna give y'all stuff that I feel like y'all should watch, whether that's movies, shows, stuff that I'm watching currently, stuff that I've watched prior, that I feel like y'all should watch. So this week I have BMF, and y'all know I've talked about BMF and how much I love BMF and how it's one of my favorite shows currently. And y'all, the season finale comes out this week. They already got like approved for season 4, and they already started filming, so can't wait to see that. But this season started off for me a little bit slow, and I just was like not really into it. But after the first couple episodes, like I'm really like getting into the thick of it now, and I have the final episode to watch and the episode before that. I like to watch 2 at a time. So a lot of times I just wait to watch, and I don't really watch every single week when they release because I like to watch multiple. But y'all, it's so good. So good. One thing I really do like about BMF that I feel like people critique them for is they say it's like Tubi, which I can see that at certain instances. I definitely can see that. But I like that they give a lot of younger not as known, not as experienced or seasoned actors a chance to be on the show, because this season you have Neo on the show, and Lil Baby was there. He did his little one too. He did real good. I didn't know what to expect from Lil Baby, y'all, but he did real good for his little part. And then 2 Chainz is on there for actually a couple episodes, and so was Neo, a couple episodes. But if you watch the show, you know what happened to his character. And then Sweetie was on, I think, one episode or 2 episodes. And she did good. She acted like Sweetie though, and I was just laughing the whole time. Like, Sweetie, like acting like Sweetie. But I liked her character and just, that. But I just really like that they give like people that you don't normally see a lot, or people that are newer into the acting space, chances to act. And I just feel like it just helps the overall of like the show. Personally, I think it just makes it funny. Like, the show is not super serious. It definitely has funny parts just between the exchanges between like Meech and Terry, but I just feel like, I don't know, I like it. But see, I like Tubi movies, so I don't got no critiques about Tubi movies. Yes, they be a little crazy sometimes and be off the wall, but they so interesting to watch, and you can't stop watching it. So that's how I feel about BMF, honestly. Like, but the storyline is really, really good though. Now, I will say the first 2 seasons set the bar for BMF, and I think what's happening is because you don't have those same characters that you have from the season, like the first 2 seasons. People kind of was just like, they don't know about this, how the season's gonna go or how the rest of it's gonna go, because Lamar, he set the tone for BMF. He set the tone. They got Henrietta now, but ain't nobody got nothing on Lamar. Nothing on Lamar. And what, B Mickey, and what's the name? What's it? KP? What's her name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, y'all definitely should watch BMF if you haven't. If you've never even watched BMF, you should go watch it. If you're behind on this season, or you started the season and you felt like it just was not given, please continue to watch it, y'all. It does get better. It gets more interesting. It really does. Like, it just gets so much better. But I will say one thing about BMF. Y'all know how y'all watch something or watch a show and it makes you just not like the character, and because you don't like that character, you don't like them in nothing that they play ever again. Because y'all know Charles from Medea's what is it? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Y'all know, if you seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman, you know what I'm talking about. Charles from that is in BMF. And I just don't like him. I don't care what he played. First of all, I don't even like him in the show, just like his character in the show. But whatever he played, I don't like it, because I'm just thinking about Helen and how he did Helen and how he threw her out that house. I'm still not over that. I'm really not. Like, he did her so wrong, and then got the nerve. So when he get all jacked up and he was paralyzed and stuff, then he want to try to come back because the other lady left him. No. Oh, the way he threw her out that house, y'all, I just can't. Like, I just can't. The same when Mike made Sheila go up that hill by herself. Anything he playing, I'm always looking at him side eye. He is in the Rookie right now, and I don't. his character in the Rookie is really good, so I still give him a side eye, but I let it slide because he doing good. But I say that because I am starting to not like Lala and her characters that she play on the show. Because don't get me wrong, I love Lala Down, and I've been a fan of Lala for a very long time, like forever. So when she started acting, I was super like excited for her. But all her characters, I'd be like, see, because her character in Power, I was like, in this character, Markeisha, I'm over it. I'm over it because she's doing too much. It's too much. It's just too much. So it started to make me not like anything that Lala act in, because every time she in something, she always doing stuff. So yeah, that is that is what I got for you gotta watch. And also an honorable mention, which I don't know if this is gonna be everybody's cup of tea. It is called Elsbeth on Paramount Plus, and it stars. I think her real name is Maybe not. I don't know if her real name is Elsbeth, but she was in Claws with Niecy Nash. Have you seen Claws with Niecy Nash? She was the white lady with the orange hair that was in the shop. Her. So she has a show on Paramount Plus called Elsbeth, and it is so good, y'all. It's like a detective crime comedy show, and she's like a lawyer that came to New York. I forgot where she's from. To New York, and she's supposedly there to oversee the police in their cases to make sure that they're doing right, because something with like them not, something with some clause and them not doing something or something. But it turns out she's actually there to investigate the chief. But then it turns out it's really not the chief that she needs to be investigating. It's his the person under him. It's this whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's so good. But each episode is a different case. And the thing about this that I like, at the beginning, it plays out the whatever crime or whatever is being committed or whatever. But it shows you who did it. It shows you kind of like some of how they did it, and then it flashes to Elsbeth and the team and everybody figuring out how it happened. And Elsbeth is like really really smart, and she's really really intuitive, and she really really knows what she's doing. Even though she's not a police officer, she's just a lawyer. But she's really good at detective work, basically. But we already know who did it, but you watch her figure out who did it, and then you get like more information of why they did it, more information on how they did it. I like it. It's really really good. I didn't think I would like it, and I just I wanted to find something new to watch, and I started it, and it's good. So I need to go check that out. It's Elsbeth on Paramount Plus, and it stars, what is his name? Let me see. Let me look it up. I'm gonna tell you, because this is the man that plays a chief, and y'all know who I'm talking about because he be in stuff all the time. But I need to see, what is his name? What is his man's name? But then why they can't? Oh no, not Elizabeth. Elsbeth. Oh my gosh, what's his name? He reminds you, for some reason he reminds me of Curtis from House of Pain, but it's not him. It is he's been in so much stuff. Wendell Pierce, that's his name. Wendell Pierce, y'all know him. Let me see. Let me tell y'all some other stuff he's been in that y'all might know. He was in Waiting to Exhale. I remember that. He, let's see. He was in The Wire, Suits, Raising Canaan. Oh, he is in Raising Canaan. No, he working. He is in Raising Canaan because he's Pops. Snap and Pops. If y'all watch Raising Canaan, y'all will know. But yeah, he's in that as well. I didn't think about that. Oh, he was in the pastor from the Fighting Temptations. Yes. I told y'all I knew who he was. I just didn't know his name. I forgot. So yeah, he's just been in a lot of other stuff. So he's in Elsbeth as the police chief. So that is all for you gotta watch. And on to our last segment. And the last segment is called Answer That. So basically in this segment, it's intended for you guys to send me questions about different just music topics. that you guys want my opinion on, or just really honestly anything. And I'll give you kind of like my opinion and my feedback. But since this is the first one and we're still trying to build our community and get our listeners up, I'm just going to pick questions each week. But the goal is for you guys to send me questions. Like I said, about music stuff, entertainment stuff, just stuff like that. So this question that I picked for this week is, what is an album or artist I feel like is underrated? So I was like, oh, this would be a good one. So for me personally, I feel like a artist that is underrated. I have a few I feel like that's underrated. People don't give much respect to for real. But the one that came to my mind was Plies, because I just feel like people kind of like overlook him, especially his impact in the 2000s. Like I know some of his music now might not be like the most mainstream or how it was, but I really liked him. Always have liked him. And y'all, I had his album. And what I looked it up today because I was like, what year did this album come out? Because I know I was young and I was like, I had the CD. I'm that old, y'all, actually. So I used to have a portable CD player, and I had CDs, and then I had CDs that I would have and like put on my computer so that I can put them on my like MP3 player. Then I come from like the LimeWire era, all that stuff, doing all that to put it on my MP3, like little you burn little mixtapes when the CDs, all that. So I had this CD, y'all, and it is his album The Realest, and I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can like see what I'm talking about. And I was like 12. This was like 2008, and I'm freaking listening to this. I don't know why my dad bought me that. I really don't. But like my daddy's like a big music person too, so that's kind of where I get my love for just music and hip hop in general. So, and I also wasn't the kid that like hear stuff and like just go and be cussing and doing stuff. Like I ain't never been like that. Like I'm not really easily influenced, honestly. And so I just don't pick up on stuff like that. So I guess that was kind of his thing. But I was 12 years old listening to his album. And to me, this is a good album. It's classic to me in my books and in my eyes, because it's just really good. Like y'all should go check it out if you like haven't heard of it before or you don't listen to Plies. Like I said, I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can see. It's called The Realist, and it was released in 2008. And let me see what songs is on that. But while I'm looking for that, like y'all know, like Plies got his for real. Like what, Shawty, and then he got let's see, Busted Baby, of course. Hypnotized by Akon. I love that song. I like that album too. The Real Testament. That was a good one too. But I for sure had The Realist. I had the CD. I remember it. I wish I would have kept all of those CDs that I had. Um but yeah, I know this whole entire album. I listened to it so much. Plenty Money is like one of my favorite songs off that album. And then he got Wanted Needed with Ashanti. Pants Hang Low. I like that song too. Put It On You is on here. And just so much. Me and My Goons. I like that. So yes, y'all, I just really do feel like Plies is underrated. He don't get the recognition I feel like he deserves, especially for like just that 2000s era. Um, like I said, I guess because his music is not, he's still not at that level that he was then. He definitely goes viral all the time for just like the stuff that he says, but not really for his music no more. Like people not really checking for him anymore. But like, don't get it twisted, because he's like that. Even with his song, uh, what is it? Rock. Y'all remember that song? I like that song too. And then ran off on the plug twice. Like, don't mess with him. Don't play with him. So yeah, for me, Plies is definitely an artist I feel like is underrated. It doesn't really get recognition or appreciation for his contribution to the 2000s, and I would say the 2000s and the 2010s I wouldn't say 2010s. I would just just the 2000s. I would say his impact then and like his songs, like Shawty is still a classic, and people listen to that. Well, I guess people listen to. I do still. So, but that's just something that he's just known for. I just don't. Nobody ever talks about him no more. Like when they talk about the 2000s and they talk about the T-Pains and all that, they don't ever talk about Blah. I was like, don't forget him. He was there. He was doing it for real. So yeah, that is my question this week for Answer That. Like I said, I'm gonna open it up so as our community continues to grow, y'all can send me questions about different topics and different things, about music that y'all want me to answer. It could be like what my favorite album is, do I like this artist, how do I feel about this album, or whatever the case may be. So yeah. So y'all, hopefully this episode, I know it was a little rocky because I'm trying to introduce all these segments, but hopefully you kind of get the feeling of how I want the show to flow. So obviously with more time it'll get better and it'll be more seamless. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said in the beginning, if you want my full just thoughts and breakdown on the whole Drake versus Kendrick, you can go ahead and listen to that bonus episode. If you are one of my people on YouTube, I'm just gonna post the audio from that episode on here so y'all can listen to that as well. Make sure you are following, like I said, the podcast, subscribe to it on whatever platform you are listening to me on. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel if you want to see visuals and other content, which is Denny Price TV on YouTube. Also I have a website that is coming, and it's going to be just a place for the website. A place for the podcast, so you'll be able to listen to the episodes sometimes directly from the website, I believe. I think when I checked it, but you can find whatever platform you want to listen to it on. Also, the videos will be on there, and I'm starting a blog on there, so y'all get some written content from moi, just a plethora of different just topics and stuff. So I'm trying to finish continuing like building that up, and soon I'll have Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, y'all. Slowly but surely, we're getting it together. I'm changing some stuff up and trying to do stuff differently. So yeah, that is all I have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are not caught up in all the episodes, or if you're new to just listening to me, go watch all of those. Go watch and listen to all of the episodes previous so you can, know how I do things. And yeah, that's all I got for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week.